Hey, welcome to the Town of Deerfield Select Board of Health Sewer Commissioners meeting for April 29th, 2026. The time is 6 p.m. This is a hybrid meeting, both on Zoom and in the main meeting room at 8 Conway Street, South Deerfield, Mass. This meeting will be held in a hybrid fashion with the opportunity for both in-person attendance and remote participation. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting or hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with a particular interest in any specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. The meeting will be held in person in the main meeting room of Deerfield Municipal Offices. In accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, anyone intending to record the meeting must identify themselves to the clerk and provide their name and address for the record. Call the meeting to order. We have public comment. So anybody has any comments that like to address before we get started with the meeting? Seeing none here, so we'll move on. We've got a hearing, an appearance. Treehouse Brewing Company regarding the summer stage events and the half marathon. And welcome, Sarah. It's good to see you again.
Hi, everyone. It just occurred to me, I remember sitting in that room and seeing big faces on that screen. So I should, I
No,
should,
you're fine. You look proportional.
okay. And I have with me Matt West from DMSE. We've gotten on the other side of the Boston Marathon, so he's been so kind as to listen in with us today.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. So, do you tell us where you're at, or do you want to?
Yes, certainly, certainly. So Summer Stage, I am so pleased to report that public safety and everyone involved in the town has been wonderful collaborating on the EOP. It's taken some time, not because we have any conflict. It's just, it's such a long document and just tweaking and tweaking and getting it right. But I really with thanks to all of the public safety agencies. Everybody's been really communicative, and I think we're there. I think everyone has the final in their inbox right now because we are coming up on summer stage.
Yeah.
And I know that the approval of our entertainment license was contingent on public safety sign off. And if there is one more paragraph or period or indent or table, they have my phone number and we will get it done. I can just go sit in Chris and Greg's office until somebody comes in and tells
Yeah.
me. But they've been great. So, we have been communicating consistently when we have new shows, but there's nothing that's different about the summer stage than when last we met. So I think we're in a good spot, and I'm really proud of the diverse lineup of acts of all the different type of musical tastes. And so we, continue our goal to be welcoming to all people and, not just a series or a brewery for some people. So I think this year is going to be really great.
That's excellent. Excellent. And I think I heard the stage was set up, right? Or is that true or not?
Uh,
Is they close to getting set up, maybe?
I would think it would be coming next month because
Oh,
we're going June through August.
somebody said it was up, so maybe I'm misinformed. So, all
I
right, that's
I
good.
could be wrong. I haven't been on site this week,
Okay.
so
Yeah, sounds good. And we have plans to kind of adjust speakers as we talked about, subwoofers and all that stuff to try to address the noise as best we can.
absolutely. And we're really lucky to be working with the quality sound engineer folks. They, came before you and explained some things, and we're happy to have Greg's expertise there to help translate some things as well. So thank you again for that, Greg.
Sure. And the marathon, you're scheduled, how things going there? Are you pretty?
Yeah, so that's the thing that Matt and I wanted to at least be available for today. We would love for ask for the select board to approve the date of Sunday, September 13th.
Okay.
We've looked at Matt, is that correct? I was making sure I didn't miss you.
That's what
We've
we
looked,
have
yes,
historically had.
okay, good, good, good. we've looked at the different events in the area and floated this date with public safety in terms of where they're going to be. And there's a craft fair, and we've sort of worked around all of that. So that's the optimal date. So we'll be able to get the great fall weather,
Yeah.
but also stay away from other big events. I'll also say I've already been in contact with youth football program about their scheduling their games. And as soon as you all, if you agree to that date, I can, work with Greg and Chris and whoever we could reach out to and say, hey, just getting out ahead of this if you're still doing your fall schedules. 'Cause that's how we worked with the football program. They just said, tell us when it is. We're gonna book an away game that day, which I thought was pretty proactive of them.
Helpful. Yeah. Anything else? Everybody good with that date? Yep.
Is it's the same course that you did last year?
Yeah, we'd keep the same course. The only if the bridge was fixed, we would change it back to where we originally were, just so that we would avoid the train tracks. But
Yep.
yeah, as you know better than I do,
Yeah.
we got a little. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit. So
Yep. We're waiting on that.
And
Okay.
how many are you expecting for this?
So this year, we're discussing with public safety. They've got a great relationship with the folks at DMSE. We would like to have 2,000 people for the running field and 1,000 for spectators. It's a daytime event, and obviously, this is all contingent on the approvals from public safety and how we're working together. But that's not out of bounds from what we've done before. Last year was a very, very small field for a number of reasons. That a field that size is not an event that Treehouse could afford to put on again. And we think that, our goal, this is year 4, and our goal is to have people say, oh, have you run, Treehouse in Deerfield? Like that is a goal of ours, that this is a premier event in New England, and we won't get there if we have too small of a field. So I think that this will be a pretty sweet spot based on the conversations we've had and leaning on the expertise of DMSE. And then the last 3 years of experience and knowing what can work on these roads and with the public safety support that we have. So that conversation is going to be happening up next. We were nailing down the EOP specifically for summer stage and then we're moving into the half marathon. EOP will be specific to that event because there's a whole bunch of considerations that just don't exist when we have a concert on a Tuesday night.
Right.
And you're going to be doing this early like you did last year. I mean, the start time is what? 8 o'clock, 7:30.
I forget. We bounced back and forth for a couple of years between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. But yes, early.
Okay.
I think you might be running on some new roads this year, so hopefully that will be appreciated by
yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Do you need a vote on the 13th or just a consensus?
I mean,
Yeah,
I think
we're good.
consensus is fine. The other thing
Yeah.
you could do is to, give permission to public safety if there needs to be a road closed, that,
Mhm.
that you're giving them permission to do so. Not that,
Absolutely.
not that it's necessarily needed, but
Correct. Yeah, we definitely would authorize and leave that up to the chief and public safety if they needed to adjust anything to do that. But I think they've been pretty good about notifying people and making sure people get in and out after that first year. So you good with the 13th? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you.
So, wait a minute.
Oh, go ahead.
For the
Yeah.
concert series, have you got the schedule locked down now for the concerts you're going to have, or is that still being worked on?
Great question, and it is in flux. I get contracts thrown my way once or twice a week, so we're still building out the field, but I can make sure that this board gets the latest of great and greatest. I can send you what we've got locked in.
Okay.
Greg, I'll send that to you right after this
Yeah.
meeting.
That'd be great. Thank you.
And if you could share it with the boards, but we're still building out the field. What we do know is that stage is going away at the end of August.
Okay.
Right.
Perfect. That sounds good. All
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Tim, anything else?
No. Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, everyone. We appreciate
all.
it.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Appreciate all the work.
All right.
Working with everybody. So thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Thanks.
Have a good night. Take care. Okay, select board reports and announcements. I was just gonna, somewhat Board of Health, but Select Board as well, but we had, Blake and I had attended, MAFCO meeting last night. It was a Mohawk Area Public Health Coalition meeting, which was at the FERCogs, a tabletop exercise where we, were trained and worked on exercises about, communication during emergencies and who communicates what and when and how to communicate and the different, aspects of kind of countering misinformation and kind of just being first, being correct, being trustworthy, all of those kind of things. So it was very good training. It was a couple hours, and I think they did a pretty good job. It was a
Yeah,
good,
I thought that was a great
Yeah.
presentation last night. that
yeah, it
they
was
did.
fun.
Yep.
So that was good. I also, just in conversation up there, I did get a link. Jack Sullivan has been writing some of the Board of Health updates a bit for the region, and kind of giving an update on COVID, which has had a little bit of an uptick lately, and also RSV. But really, the state put out their tick-borne illness report for 2025 last week, and we are coming into the peak season of May through November, but really, it really ramps up May and June for tick-borne illnesses, and this year could be pretty severe because there was such a long snowpack and cover, so they were kind of protected down below all winter long and weren't really, froze out. So even though it was cold, there was a layer of snow most of the year. So we could be in for it. I know that people are already pulling ticks off their pets and stuff, but just watch them. Far and away, Lyme disease is still the largest disease to get, and you can have a lot of symptoms that show up from that. But just again, and then we're coming into mosquito season 2. It has been dry, which has been good, but we'll continue to do testing. We'll be tossing out the dunks pretty soon in the in the catch basins and stuff, because we always want to try and catch the larvae before they hatch and not have to spray later on in the season. So super important to, as you're going out in the warm weather and kids are doing sports. So at dusk and dawn, please, protect yourself, long clothes, permethrin on the shoes if you're out in the woods, or people are gardening and stuff now too. So just, it's never fun to get that disease or any of those carried by those. So just protect yourself there.
The other thing is, especially if you're going out in the woods, to check yourself when you come in at the end of the day, to just make sure that something hasn't gone up into your
Yeah.
pant leg or whatever. So
Hung on. So I think that's all I got, right? Yeah.
And I just want to mention that we're going to be trying out something that we hope will become a more regular event. May 8th, we will be having an open mic concert at the 1821 Meeting House, small stage. We're working in concert with, pardon the pun, the Rec Department and the Cultural Council, and this will feature Deerfield local musicians, 3 or 4 different people. It'll be an hour, and we just want to make use of the building, small stage, and one of them is a sound engineer, is part of the trade. You have to be. So we'll be looking at the building tomorrow or the next day to just make sure there's enough plugs and sound equipment will fit in. So pretty excited about that, and hopefully we'll, with Gabby Harrington and Emily Gaylord of the Cultural Council, will maybe arrange more of these through the summer.
is there a start time, Tim?
7 o'clock, and it's just going to be for an hour. And
What date was that again? May
8th,
May 8th. Great.
next Friday. Yeah.
Wow, already.
Yeah.
Look at
We promised not to make any extra work for the administrative team, so we're going to be doing all the publicity ourselves.
Sounds good. Let's see. Well, I think we're going to pass over the minutes. Any Board of Health stuff other than the ticks and mosquitoes? Nothing else at the moment. I don't think so. Yeah. Okay, good. We're going to pass over our minutes because we kind of just got those. We'll do them next meeting. I guess just, let's see. Um, discussion items. We have a letter of support for this, Senate supplemental budget provisions. And we'll just take a minute and check that out. I have a motion too. So this was a letter to the Senate President and Chairman, Rodrigues, to talk about the supplemental budget provisions that that they have put together. And I'm not going to read this whole letter, but it'll be available to view. And we're definitely encouraging them to pass this because it definitely helps for the rural communities. And there's an estimated $204,733 allocation for Deerfield, would provide meaningful relief to the town's operating budget while helping to ensure the continued safety and reliability of local roads. We also support, the Senate's commitment to rural education, the proposed $25 million in funding to assist rural and low and declining enrolled schools, including resources that promote shared services and regionalization, is critical to sustaining high-quality student educational opportunities in communities throughout Franklin and the state. So they're looking at an additional $4 million in supplemental rural school aid funding for FY26, along with a $4 million down payment towards the FY27. So that'll be helpful. So I'll make a motion to approve the letter of support to Senate President Spilka and Chairman Rodrigues regarding the Senate supplemental budget provisions, and authorize the chair to sign and transmit the letter on behalf of the Select Board.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
I just want to say that it's important that the leadership in the Senate hears from local communities about these kind of things. And I want to thank Senator Comerford for her work on this.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilchey, aye.
And Trevor McDaniel, aye. Let's sign this here. We have two one-day all alcohol licenses for Deerfield Academy reunion weekend, which is June 5th and 6th, 2026. So I'll make a motion to approve two one-day liquor all alcohol licenses for trustees of Deerfield Academy for reunion weekend for events on June 5th, 2026 from 10 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. and June 6th, 2026 from 10 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. at Deerfield Academy, including the Great Tent and associated campus event locations as applied for and presented in the application materials. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilchey, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. You just need one signature?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have ratified memorandum of agreement pursuant to Chapter 32B, Sections 21 to 23 regarding health insurance benefit changes effective July 1st, 2026.
Sure. So this is the culmination of a 30-day negotiation period with our unions. All of the Hampshire County Group Insurance Trust towns are in the same boat here, where really the trust needed to adjust their plans that they offered so that they can remain solvent. Hilb Group has been the consultant who's been kind of, heading up the trust for the time being, has done a great job identifying some savings and some needed plan changes. And those include adding deductibles to all plans, and a few other changes to co-pays, et cetera, that are laid out in the agreement. I would just say, just thank our unions. They were good advocates for their members, but they also understood where the town was coming from and, the situation that all of the Hampshire County Group Insurance Trust towns were in. And then I just want to also give a kudos to Sarah, our collector treasurer. She is so good
Cookie.
with this stuff. Yeah. And hugely helpful in this process. And I think
Yeah.
we got to a good conclusion.
That's great.
So there's an agreement that's been signed by all parties at this point.
Great.
I'm just looking for the board to vote it just to memorialize that.
Okay, I move to ratify the memorandum of agreement between the town of Deerfield and the Deerfield Public Employee Committee pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 32B, Sections 21 through 23, regarding health insurance benefit changes effective July 1st, 2026, and authorize the chair or designee to execute the agreement on behalf of the Select Board.
Second.
Any further discussion? Again, thank everybody that worked on this. All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilchi, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye.
And I would just add, so that given that we've made that agreement, that's going to allow us to budget for essentially a 12.5% increase to our health insurance instead of a 16% or 20% increase. So it's a
Yes.
significant savings for the town.
Yep, that's great. And nothing to sign though, right? Great,
You got it.
okay. So review and authorize posting of the warrant for annual town meeting to be held Monday, May 11th, 2026, 6 p.m. at Frontier Regional School. Oh, here we go. Thank you. All right, so let's just run through this and make sure we got everything. So Article 1 is pretty straightforward. And let's see, do we have on here who's doing what yet? I think you have.
That's in a separate document. I can,
Got it.
if you want, I can pull that up just so we
Yeah,
can
maybe just,
maybe finalize that.
yeah, just so I know who's doing what,
Yeah,
where. I'll just
absolutely. Give me one
mark it.
moment.
Yep. But this, I know we went through all of this on the Monday night's Finance Committee meeting.
Yeah, if you're like me, you're sick of looking at this
Yes,
thing.
yeah, every year about this time. Although this is a little longer this time. We're usually done with it by now, but it was good to give a little extra time. I was thinking about this morning, we did move it to give us more time. Like, you never know if the state's going to get their act together, but have it ready. But no, we're still in the dark.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Article 1 is going to be a Trevor McDaniel motion.
Okay.
And then Article 2, free cash transfers.
Yep.
Blake, currently we've got you reading that one.
Okay.
And then Tim, you'll be reading the revolving fund caps.
Yep.
Snow and ice shortfall. Trevor, that's you again.
Okay.
Just as a reminder, I think we've landed at the figure of 130,000 as the shortfall, and
Yep.
most of that will be coming from free cash, but then some also from vocational education, since we did not have 2 full-time Smith
Right.
Folk students
Yep.
this year. Omnibus budget, the honor falls to you, Blake. Of course, we usually have Dan reading the actual numbers, so
Right.
you'll have a reasonable length motion instead of what he has to do.
And this, just to kind of hover on this for a second,
Yep.
I guess this year we only have one difference between the Select Board and the Finance Committee at this time, and we should probably
Yeah,
talk
and
about it.
yep, and so there's a $10,000 difference between the requested column, which represents the select board number, and the recommended column that recommends represents the finance committee's
Correct.
decision. This will be something that gets worked out in the motions to some extent. So I'm meeting with Dan and Lisa on Monday to talk that through, and then we'll let everyone know how that'll be handled. Obviously, our town bylaw says that any money article can be decreased but not increased. So in my mind, the logical thing would be to start with the select board number and go down from there.
Correct.
But we'll finalize that with Dan and Lisa on
Yeah.
Monday.
And that's specifically on the,
Conservation agent.
yeah,
Yep.
and is that listed anywhere specifically here, or it's
Yes,
just
so
in?
if you go up to general government at the first,
Oh,
the
okay,
top of
first,
it,
yep.
there's a line for conservation agent. You'll see a $0
There it is. Yep.
for, yep, you got
Because
it.
it was we did it out of the other fund, and then
Exactly.
okay, great. So I'm just going to circle that at the moment. Okay, that's good. All righty. And then we've got Article 6.
Yep, Article 6, Senior Center override. Trevor, have you reading
Okay.
that, as well as Article 7, the Senior Center lease
Yep.
authorization. SCEMS, just regular budget is Article 8. And Blake's reading that one,
Okay.
as well as the override.
Blake's
Um,
got the override as well. And that's 9. Are you comfortable with that, Blake, or would you rather
No, I'm okay.
somebody else do that?
No.
Okay, yep. Great. And then the 10, that's
Yeah, that's
capital
the-
stabilization.
Yep, that's the stabilization account for SCEMS. Tim will be
Tim
reading
on
that
that.
one.
Yep.
Sewer Enterprise Fund, Trevor, that's you
Okay.
again.
Yep.
Article 12 is the FY26 capital improvement plan.
Yep.
I think I have Trevor reading that as well. You know what,
Okay.
I want to just double check something because I feel like I've got Trevor doing an awful lot.
Not a big deal, but I thought Tim was doing one of these, right? Maybe the next one? Or
Double
Blake,
check
probably.
here.
Blake's on the committee.
Yep.
Maybe Blake does 12.
Yeah, what I would say is I'll go back through this because I feel like some of these I had Blake on or Tim on and they got switched around or something. So
Okay.
let me come back to this on Monday maybe if that's okay
Yeah,
with you, and we'll just go
fine.
through the articles.
Fine. No, but
Just pin it
Blake's
on Lisa.
typically
Have
on
Lisa do
board,
everything.
So that makes sense for him. So yeah, then 13 is the 2020, let's see, wait a minute.
Yeah, 2027 capital improvement plan, which I
Yep.
think I was going to have Blake read that one.
Yep.
Article 14 is the conservation fund. I did just want to mention, based on our discussion Monday night with Finance Committee, made a couple very minor tweaks. Just one to clarify that it's the town treasurer, not some
Correct.
imaginary treasurer of
Yes.
the Conservation Commission that's
Right.
responsible for the fund.
Yep.
And two, just clarifying, I think that previously the language in there was without further authorization. That's not really in line with what the statute says. It's really without further appropriation. So we just made that change.
Okay.
At the behest of the Finance Committee, which open space and conservation have no issues with, as far as I'm aware.
Did you,
Is that Caswell?
is Caswell going to read that one or do you want us to do it?
It's a good question. I think Tim, I had you reading it. If
Yeah, fine.
you'd rather, we could.
She can explain.
Yeah, if there's questions, yeah.
And then
15.
15 is the Community Preservation Committee recommendations. We usually have Kathy read those.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Great. And then 16 is the
Yeah.
Elm Street.
Yes, Elm Street. And Trevor, I've got you reading this one right now.
Fine.
Some
Yep.
some last minute discussions with Lisa on Monday, so we'll
Yeah.
long story short, there is the possibility of a couple additional easements for the Elm Street project being needed. But again, speaking with Lisa about it on Monday,
Okay.
we'll have a motion similar to what was made back in the fall when we acquired
Get the
temporary
other-
construction easements for the project.
And then Stillwater, you don't. foresee
Stillwater,
any-
we're just going to pass over it. Currently, we are just in the final stages of negotiating the easement agreement with Great River Hydro.
Yep.
And there's no town meeting action needed regarding that. And then MassDOT's going to be ready to advertise for the project.
Great.
So
So exciting.
yeah.
Man,
Good
it's
to get it
a
out
lot
there.
of work.
No Article 17?
correct. We're going to pass over that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. That's great. 10. Oh, this was the capital?
Or 18. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
yeah.
sorry, 18. Yeah.
Yeah, capital improvement bylaw update. So just a couple minor updates there. Could be, I think I have Tim reading this, but Blake, could be you as well if you'd rather, given that you're on the committee.
You want to do that one?
Sure.
All right.
And then a couple will have to kind of figure out who's reading these. There's the 2 citizen petitions that are sponsored by the select board.
Yeah.
So we've got the zero emission first vehicle policy.
On that, you want to read that one or?
Fine.
I mean, up to date on that?
And then, same for the veteran and senior property tax work-off program at Article 20.
I'd be happy to do that.
And I know, did Chris Goudreau reach out to you from the senior center about that one? Okay, so, gotcha. Okay, so Chris Goudreau probably won't read the motion, but he may stand up and speak to
I can
the
read it.
property tax work
Yeah.
program.
I can read the motion.
You want to do that one,
Sure.
Blake?
Oh, sure, great.
Okay, that works.
And then the rest of the articles on there are citizen petitions.
So
So
do they come and stand up? as citizen
yeah,
petitions usually?
we
Okay.
provide a sample motion and they'll
They'll
you
read
know,
those.
be identified by the moderator when they stand up.
Great. Well, sounds like a meeting we'll have done in about an hour.
Well, we are starting an hour early this year, right? So
True.
that's
That's
you know,
true. Everybody's
it's in
aware,
our
right?
favor.
We've got the signs in town, in center of town, flashing 6 o'clock, right? And please, everybody, get
Yep.
there early.
And we have childcare QR code in case
Yep.
you want to sign up for fun entertainment for your kids while you're there deciding how the town is going to spend its money.
And I would just mention that the meeting guide itself will likely be out in the middle of the next week. So
Okay.
keep
Good.
an eye out for that.
Yeah, I just encourage people to get there early. I know everybody's usually still trying to find a seat. Had we decided gym or no gym yet?
Yeah, we're going with the gym simply
Okay.
because of two
be-
overrides and
yeah.
all these citizen
Yeah.
petitions. We're expecting pretty high
Okay.
turnout.
Yep. Yeah. And then and then of course the election will be the following, is it the following Tuesday? Following Tuesday for the election.
Yep, correct.
Yep.
And at the back of the warrant, you've got actually, all of the offices for that election, as well as the 3 questions that'll be on the ballot. The 2 override
yeah.
questions, as well as the town constable question, which we ratified back at last town meeting. So if
Okay.
folks remember, they're going to be asked whether they want to transition to an appointed rather than elected town constable.
Who appoints them? Select board?
I think you guys.
All right.
Think so.
Under the guidance of the chief.
Is that right?
No, it's not in there.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, and there's a motion for you there whenever you're ready.
Okay. So I move to approve the warrant for the annual town meeting to be held on Monday, May 11th, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the Frontier Regional School, and authorize the appropriate town officials to post and publish the warrant as required.
Second,
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilchi, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. Thank you very much for all your work on this. At the end, okay, we'll sign all those after. Yeah.
And I would just mention Cassie's got the archival copy, but she'll have that ready for Monday, so we'll
Okay.
sign it then.
Sounds good. We have a contract amendment for a grant agreement with Executive Office of Economic Development for an industrial park study for time extension.
Yeah, so this is the study to look at road and wastewater connections at the Deerfield Industrial Park as well as the Whately Industrial Park. We had I think a productive and positive meeting with Covestro
Yes.
and Whately and DPC, who's doing the wastewater component of the project. And now DPC kind of has the information and connections they need from Covestro to look at possible sewer connections through the industrial park. However, the current contract is set to expire June 30th. Alex has been in touch with rural development, and they're absolutely fine with
An extension.
an extension. So we're going to extend it for 6 months, allow DPC to finish up their work there, as well as VHB, who's doing the traffic study.
Right. Okay.
That's for no additional money. It's just a time.
Correct.
extension.
Yep. So I'll move to approve the request for a contract amendment for the Executive Office of Economic Development Rural Development Fund grant associated with the project Deerfield Whately Road and wastewater connections, and authorize the chair and/or town administrator to execute and submit the amendment request and any related documents.
Second,
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilge, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. Do you want to sign this or do you?
Yeah, I can handle it after. That's
Okay,
fine.
great. Perfect. And then we have, letter of inquiry to the Cannabis Control Commission regarding Sunny Days. What have we got on that? The update on that? What are we doing there?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously Sunny Days has made a lot of progress on their site. They are still waiting on final licensure from the Cannabis Control Commission. Tim just brought up the idea that it might be wise just to provide a friendly inquiry just to say, hey, where is this at?
Yeah.
To the CCC. We're in favor of the project. We hope it moves forward. Just to make sure they do get across the finish line there. Obviously,
You've invested a lot.
there's been a lot of investment in that, and it's a great project for the town.
Yeah. Yep, sounds great. Okay, so I got a motion here. I move to approve the letter of inquiry to the Cannabis Control Commission regarding Sunny Days Inc. and authorize the chair to sign and transmit the letter on behalf of the select board.
Second,
Any further discussion? Okay,
what is the holdup on there? Is there a specific item on this, or they're just not communicating?
We don't know. CCC processes a lot of these licenses. They've also obviously had their challenges as an agency in the last couple of years, so it's not entirely clear what the holdup is, but we're hoping that a little local advocacy will just again help them get that ball across the line.
absolutely.
Yeah, and in speaking with Ken Bucalana, who's one of the principals, he just mentioned that they don't want to pester the commission because that can be counterproductive. So
Sure.
the thought was just, I don't know if this references like need to coordinate with the police for a new traffic pattern that would be developed. We've never had anybody exiting
Right,
into Route 5 from that location before.
true.
And, it'd be nice to let them get up and running before the end of the year and
Yeah.
maybe even,
Well,
take advantage of the summer interest when the concert series comes to town. So,
considering Deerfield was the first community in Massachusetts to approve medical marijuana, it has been, 15 years? You probably knew this was coming, right? It would be nice if we're not the last to get a permit, so.
and I want to, just a Scrivener's inquiry, who came up with the language in the last sentence about attention to this matter? All right.
As long as it's not signed off. PDM. Okay, so, we voted that, right? We all, yes.
Well,
Did we vote?
we
Yeah, I
didn't
think
vote.
we did. No? Oh, thank you.
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilge, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. Any other updates? That's it, right?
Do we need to take action on the Tilton Library solar?
We
Or
did
already
that on Monday. Yeah,
Okay.
and
I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
there's a solar thing in here and I was like.
Yes, yeah. I think
yeah.
that's the
We
information.
pulled it because we already dealt with it on Monday.
Okay,
But
perfect.
I will say,
It's the wrong building though. It's the wrong.
Yeah, it is the
building.
wrong building.
is it?
Yeah, it's 1888.
Oh no, that was for okay. Yeah,
Something else. All right.
But on that topic, I will say that Dan has reached out to Dave, and they're talking it over. So we should have some updates shortly. And then, of course, it's on the warrant, so hopefully, will be approved by town meeting in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Great.
And I do want to mention that it is coming in under the 125,000 that's
Yeah.
on the warrant, considered by a considerable amount. So.
Oh, yeah, and that, and there's one in there we haven't signed.
Are we supposed to sign both of these?
No, these are the signature pages,
Okay.
and then we'll have the formal one for the archive.
While we're signing things, I just wanted to say that mention that unfortunately Bamboo Asian Cuisine has closed, and so we no longer have their good food in town. But hopefully they can find another location and that might be better suited for that sort of business.
Who is that?
They were up in the
Oh,
Tibetan Mall
that's right. Yep.
next to the former Walmart dealership.
Get two more coming. Okay, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Want to give one? All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilchey, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. Thank you so much. Enjoy the nice weather out there, and we'll see you in a bit.